This is Bragg from Transformation Incorporated. Interviewed him earlier with wrote about him in the paper, and we're going to go through a workout with him.
Alright, so we'll start out just with our basic warm-up. So it's always important to just open up all the joints and basically move them in a fashion that's just very, just to improve the mobility and overall range of motion before you take it under extreme stress. So that's basically what we're doing with Connor right now. It's just very light joint movements. A lot of people forget to do these a lot of times just because they don't necessarily see the benefit until they've had an injury, and then they tend to incorporate more of this prior to training from that point on. All right. So this is actually a very good coordination drill, almost like when we're little, when we start crawling, it works cross innervation. So you're working both sides of the brain with each limb independently. So very beneficial for development. All right. So now let's go without shoes for the next part. All right, so now after the brief warm-up and the mobility work, we're moving right now to what we call the core of the workout, and that simply just means we're going to pick basically 4 to 5 different compound movements that work the entire body, really from here all the way down to the feet in one chain, and basically work those in a circuit. And basically, the only rest that we'll give Connor is really at the end of each set. There's kind of a twofold purpose for that. One is you actually will improve conditioning, so you can actually, instead of just thinking that you have to run to get your cardio or your conditioning in, you can actually use the strength movements in this quick fashion basically to increase your conditioning level. But also, because it is mostly whole body strength movements, you're basically preparing the body for more advanced athletic performance movement. So any sport or any application that you would like to take the body into, it should be better prepared to do that activity after basically training like this. So, all right, ready? So let's grab. So we'll use a couple of kettlebells, and these are basically, they look like cannonballs with handles on the top, and for our purposes, they're just going to help us load the body more effectively than generally dumbbells will. So let's take the weight from there. We're going to clean it, press it, bring it back down, all the way back. So you notice you're getting really everything involved with it. You're driving the weight with the hips, which are used in basically every athletic movement, and then pressing the weight overhead. You basically build strength throughout the entire body, doing an overhead military press. Now on the floor, this one that we're actually doing is called basically just a moving push-up. So instead of just the normal push-up going straight up and down, we're going to add it. It's going to be a little more dynamic, where we're going to push and move. Push and move. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do a stability move, really. Working on stability in the knees. Just working on one-legged stand. Just going to hold there for about 10 10 seconds. Types of movements versus doing just machines, because the body doesn't work like a machine. It works as it was designed to, though. And all these movements are engaging every muscle in the body, whereas if you were doing a leg press machine, as an example, you're really isolating just one little muscle group, whereas you're getting about 90% of the muscles involved with this one movement. So, all right. Now let's go here. So we'll work on more stability. Ian also would never really improve the stability in his ankle. This is challenging his ankle right now, so it will definitely help in the nursing it back to health. That's it. Even though it's a little bit challenging right now, right? Just where it is. All right. Okay, so far?
A little more stops.
Okay. All right, so the next exercise will be the one-arm kettlebell snatch, which is considered to be one of the best power movements that someone can do, particularly for an athlete that's wanting continuous power output throughout the entire performance or contest. So Connor, I'm going to demonstrate. Alright, so now that we've done the core of the workout, now we're going to transition to actually working more of the abdominals and the actual core area. So I don't necessarily want to confuse the two sections, but the latter part here is really working all around the trunk. So most folks, when they do abdominals, they're thinking just doing crunches and movements like that. And while they're fine, you never want to do them early in the workout. We tend to save a lot of these movements to the very end of the workout, just to fully exhaust the core at that point. So Connor, I'll have you on the mat here, and we're basically going to go from this position. It's almost like a push-up position. It's a high point. We're going to go down to a low point. Alright, and it's always good to work the lower back as well. A lot of times it's forgotten, but you do want to work the spinal erectors. And so this one we'll do almost like, so you don't want to have very strong abs and a weak lower back. That can be a recipe for a lower back injury. So it's always important to equally work. What I do is stretch out, particularly after doing the abdominals where they may be pretty knotted up, pretty crunched up. So we want to open the ab wall back out. We want to stretch it.